It is a million degrees here in Ohio. I refuse to turn the air on until mid-May, so I'm just gonna have to suffer it out. Um, so that's why I'm glistening, I'm glowing. That's the reason. But anyhow, I was online and one of my favorite YouTube gardener channels based here in Ohio made a video showing their garden, and it looked miles ahead of what mine looks like currently. They have these huge cabbages. Their other brassicas looked amazing, and it was kind of a little not disheartening because I know we're all at different stages, but I was like, dang, I wish mine were like that. So I thought maybe other people would feel that way too, and it might be helpful to show where my garden is at this point in the season, at like mid-May in zone 6A. Mid-May, zone 6A. The heat is getting to me, I'm sorry. Some things are starting to take off, some things are still like in the early stages. Um, but yeah, if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. We'll see what's growing. So I planted my garlic sometime in October of last year. I used cloves from the garlic that I harvested last year. Last year was my first year growing garlic. I planted a German white and a red Russian variety. At this point, they're all mixed together. I don't know which is which, but those are the two that I've got growing. Anyhow, from that batch that grew, I chose the biggest cloves, and those are what I planted. I got a new garden bed to put them in that's in a slightly sunnier location. And I'm also using the older garlic bed because it worked, but it'll be interesting to see the difference between the one that gets so much more sun and the one that's slightly shaded. I've also got some coneflowers growing in there because I adore coneflowers. I want to put them everywhere. Once those are fully established, I'm going to divide them and propagate them throughout my garden everywhere. But anyhow, that's all that to say. Right now, the garlic is sort of the strongest looking vegetable plant in my garden. Right next to my garlic in another raised bed, one that I made a mistake when I bought it. I didn't realize that it was so tall. It's way taller than the other beds, and that is something that will irritate me till the end of time. It's just gonna just drive me crazy. I didn't return it because I just was too eager to get started and get things planted, basically. But it's super annoying. Anyhow, it's there. It's fine. Whatever. I've got my onions growing in that. They went in about 2 weeks ago. They're still looking pretty small. I am fertilizing them with a nitrogen heavy fertilizer. I thought I had it here, but I don't. I'll put it on the screen. So that I can get as much green growth on them as possible, as quickly as possible, so that they can absorb more sun rays and make bigger bulbs. That is the plan. So yeah, they're good. It'll be a while before I harvest them. I'll put it on the screen 'cause I don't know, and I need to look at that. Yeah, so they're okay, but I'm excited for them to grow and get really like put on some growth, basically. Super quick onion story. So I grew them from seed, the onions, and I had a bunch left over. So I put a notice in my local gardening Facebook group telling anyone who wanted that I had free Patterson and Walla Walla onions. Like I had a bunch of each, a big bunch of each. So this woman was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll come out." So I gave her, I gave her a location near my address for her to come to, and she got to that location, and then she asked me what my address was. And I had looked at her profile at that point, so I was like, fine, I'll give her my address. So I gave her my address. She comes to my house. She's this little old lady with this big, massive dog, and she's in her car. She rolls down the window literally 2 inches. And I clearly had these two massive bags of onion starts. She refuses to roll down the window. I have to squeeze them in. She was I mean, that woman, I mean, God love her, but like she needs to learn to trust people, especially people who are giving free onion starts out. Jeez, come on. All right. My brassicas. Namely, well, first we'll start with the kale, the cabbage. Both small, both looking good. Neither have been attacked by anything yet, which I'm shocked by. I thought by now they'd be like devoured by slugs. I have put down some diatomaceous earth. I feel bad about that, but last year they were decimated. I barely got any kale. I need to put some measures in place to protect it. I'll try and work on more nature friendly ways of protecting them, But for now, that's what I'm doing. I just gotta own up to it. That's what I'm doing. And I'm probably gonna use BT when it gets worse. So, I'm just a horrible person. The poor bugs. Something I'm really excited about is my kohlrabi. They're starting to form their little heads, little bulbs, whatever you call them. So I can't wait. Again, I'm nervous that they're going to get devoured by bugs before I get to harvest them. But so far they look great and they're bulbing up. So hopefully, and again, I'm going to put it on the screen here to force myself to check roughly how long it takes for them to mature to where I can actually harvest. The last sort of thing that's really, coming to life right now is my asparagus. The spears are coming up. Each planting has spears emerging, and I was really nervous because one corner, the spears were starting to shoot up, and the other, there three or four of them, nothing was happening, and I was getting kind of nervous. I was like, did I kill them? It was a really cold winter. I thought maybe I over mulched, maybe I didn't mulch enough. I don't know. I was worried. Anyhow, they're starting to spear up now. I'm going to harvest some this week and have them with dinner. So I'm so excited because you have to wait. You should wait 3 years before you make a harvest on your asparagus bed. You can harvest very lightly in year 2, I've heard. And actually, apparently there's some studies to show that very light harvesting in year 2 can be beneficial, but I mean like very light, and do your research. But year 3, you're allowed to do a somewhat decent harvest. You still don't want to decimate it. Oh my God, I'm going on and on. Point is, I'm going to take a few spears for dinner this week, and I'm very, very excited about it. So other than that, the carrots and beets are very slow. I'm a little nervous. I have decided with my carrots, when I harvest the onions, I'm going to put carrots in there. I'm going to put a boatload of carrots in there, and I'm going to harvest well into probably late winter next year. So I'm thinking that will be a great bed for that, because originally I was thinking, oh, I'll do onions, then garlic. But timing wise, that won't quite work out, I don't think. Plus, I really want to experiment more with carrots. I want to get it good, because currently what I have going, hopefully all going well, I will get maybe a dozen carrots, but I want like a proper harvest of carrots. I want like 20, 30, 40 carrots. And if I can just have them growing over winter to the point where I can go out in I don't know, January or December and just pluck a carrot out of the ground to put in some delicious stew, that just sounds freaking amazing. So that's what I want to do. That's my plan. And again, all good plans, whatever the saying is. So yeah, currently carrots and beets are pretty slow. I'm just waiting for them. I'm hoping they will catch up and start growing. But my fail-safe is growing a second batch of carrots for the winter. So that is kind of it. That is what my garden currently looks like. It probably looks terrible compared to some other gardens that I have seen with my own eyes that look freaking amazing. And it might look better than other gardens, but we're all going at our own pace. We're all on our own garden journeys. We need to just focus on our own lane, and it will all be okay. I am really, really warm, and I think it is messing with my brain. Anyhow, all that to say, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all the YouTube things if you are so inclined. And I will see you all next time. Peace.